Hey, what's up guys, it's Oakley and we'll be doing a massive battle in Shogun II. The battle map itself is going to be a custom map, Helms Deep. So we're going to be getting into this, and it's going to be a 3 versus 2. We're going to go over and look at the armies of Isengard pushing forward, and the famous pink Urukai are going to be leading the assault. Take a look at some of these troops. A lot of highly veteran Ashigaru units, and then they actually brought some trickery from Isengard, some fire rockets in the front ranks. The rules were no gunpowder units, no nothing like no matchlocks or no guns or anything, but I guess fire rockets kind of counts. It works. I consider it trickery of Isengard. Then you have another entire force. This one is going to be more of a fodder one, consisting of a lot of these Naginata attendants. Some really cool models on these guys. I don't think I have these specific models, but they're looking pretty ferocious. And again, a lot of kind of low-level troops in the back. And let's go and look at the forces deployed a little bit further. So this is going to be 3 armies, obviously, coming at us. A lot of Ashigaru archers. More of these units pressing the assault. Yari samurai coming in. Oh my goodness. They have a lot of troops. So here's the 3 forces. Let's get another nice shot over that going up towards Helms Deep. Now what we decided to do was bring a buttload of archer units. A lot of these Yari samurai positioned all along the fortress walls, or bow samurai, sorry. Then I brought more of the melee component. So I have katana samurai spread throughout the levels of the city. Over back here I have my actually, Delenda S. Cartago, the name of these guys. They're basically my hero units, and they're going to be sitting out in the back. And then over here, I have some Yari Ashigaru, and then, again, my, what are these guys called? Mojo Babies. I forget their name always. But they were in another siege, and I'm bringing them here for the defense of Helms Deep. These guys are very handy in a pinch for sieges. It's the long spear Yari Ashigaru. And so they're going to be meant to hold out this position as the enemy eventually, overwhelms our position. It's kind of funny, the river that goes upstream. But that's supposed to replicate the little hole in the wall that they exploded that drains out through there. And we do have a little bit of treachery of our own going on the flanks. I have a couple of these riders stationed up on the flank, and it was really cool of the map maker to actually include this in the deployment zone of the defenders. You can actually deploy up here, and he even has a little monument specifically for cavalry assault. So my guys are positioned up in the forest. Our opponents are not really going to see them. You're able to deploy in the woods, so they're going to be waiting for the opportune moment. And let's see what this looks like from their perspective. You can see the forces starting to move out. Let's actually get another nice couple pans. So the enemy is being pretty careful. You can see they have a nice amount of reserves. Oh no, that's a camp. Their reserves are here. A huge force, and then they're going to be moving forward with combined 2 armies up the front. Fire rockets are going to be targeting most of our gates, so they're going to try and blast it open. I just want to keep panning till we go over the cavalry waiting on the flanks. Now I guess we can go in on the action. So the forces are soon going to come into collision. I had initially pushed forward some of these Yari Ashigaru just to force back the fire rockets and other troops and try and contest the front. We are now going to try and form up into deep formation. And then here goes our archers. So it begins, you could say. So the enemies are going to be starting to charge forward with some of their Naginata forces. Very cheap units. Their counter volley is going to start destroying my defenders on the outside, but they're just there to actually buy us time. Meanwhile, these forces are getting absolutely thrashed. All levels of the castle are firing down. This is just an awesome recreation of Helms Deep, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing people do something similar once the custom map tools are available with Attila. Can't wait to see that actually happen with perhaps, I don't know. You could have the probably the Romans holding out, trying to hold off a bunch of Huns attacking Helms Deep. So that'd be interesting. And you can see all the fire devastating even these elite tier units who look like they have high armor. They're going to try and get some counter shots against us, but you can only hold out so long against this devastating fire. There it goes all along the line. Let's see if we can't see what this looks like from the top. Absolute just carnage being rained down on the opponents.
Our men are running.
Yeah, okay, this is a good shot.
Shameful display.
Some of my, you can see my spearmen there finally broke, but I mean they broke in the face of a lot of incoming fire, and they bought us enough time to start doing this to our opponents. So the continuing volleys of fire, some arcing shots going over, more of them just going straight out of these arrow slots, straight into the opponent. So an entire army, the first force is going to melt away, and we kind of anticipated this. This is why it's a 3 versus 2, because with this amount of arrow fire, yeah, it's pretty devastating. But they're still going to try. You can actually climb up all of these walls, so they're going to be going and attempting to climb up these walls. We can watch the first attackers. However, they're going to be mostly shot down and start to rout. Here comes more of these armies trying to position themselves somewhere. Oh. I want that quite showing up. And they have some archers positioned here just to try and contest us on the walls. More guys climbing up. They should actually be shot off. Yeah, you can see a couple of them starting to go down. We are losing men, though. Despite what it looks like a seemingly one-sided fight, we are losing men, especially with now some of the precise fire shots coming in. They're going to be actually doing a good amount of damage on our very few defenders. Let's get a nice pan of this. Comes the arrow fire. Killing a couple of our men here and there. We can keep looking down the side. You have a lot of targets to choose from. And here comes the main assault. They destroyed our gate with the fire rockets. And so here they come.
Our hidden units have been discovered, my lord.
This entire mass is now going to be charging through the gates, up on the walls. Yeah, that's going to be pretty freaking scary. That is a nice shot. Fire rockets coming in, archers destroying this castle. Oh my goodness. Here they go. So they're going to be storming through the destroyed gate. Lots of these guys. You can see we pulled off our archers from the walls, kind of like in the movie. Now we'll be reforming back here. Now we're going to send out some of our guys. I wish I had Nodachi to do more like the elves did in the battle, at least the battle in the movie. I think in the books, if I recall correctly, there were no elves. But yeah, I'm now going to counter assault, and we're going to have all our archers stationed in the back for supporting fire. Pretty ridiculous. So as we get into this fight, the opponents are now going to start, sending in a lot of the reinforcements. And this is where we're going to start to spring our trap relatively soon, waiting for the opponents to be fully distracted. You can see the battle kind of raging here. Troops moving in on all fronts. And over here, the gates are on fire. They're really devastating our forces over here. And so now is the time to spring the trap. Here we go, pushing forward. I just want to get some shots of our units coming down the crest of the hill. The city in flames in the distance. Wow. So hopefully we're not too late. Here come our troops coming into this. Now there's a huge blob down there. What I'm going to try and do is target the generals. I know if we can take down the generals, that'll be a big morale blow, and that'll help us out. So I'm going to target one of the generals here, and then another general unit here. Meanwhile, on this position, we're going to be countercharging the archers left over on the outside. The rest of the units are going to be climbing up the walls, and this huge archer group is trying to desperately get inside of the walls before the cavalry comes and smacks down on them. So they are starting to swarm our positions. I countercharged decently here, and our archers are going to be doing so much damage all along the front. My heroes are even going to commit themselves up in this position, and these heroes are even upgraded, so they're going to be pretty badass. So here they come trying to tip the tide. You can see over here I just have one lone Yari Ashigaru unit here, but now we're going to try and support them. plug the hole in the wall, and here comes the charge from my hero units. Let's watch some of this into the flanks of the opponents. They're going to start carving their way through here, and they're almost going to instant kill everyone they start to duel with, so that'll help secure this side of the battlefield. And now we've killed some of the enemy generals. You can see that had a pretty big morale blow on some of these units, but they're still going to be continuing to stream through here. I'm going to pull out my pikes. I realize that at this point our archers are engaged. There's not much I can do, so I'm going to pull back and reform. I'm going to pull back my hero units. They have no support. I mean, they only lost one man in that engagement. They got a lot of kills, but I figured I would pull them back, so we're going to retreat to the inner castle, the inner wall. This area here has been effectively lost. All our archers are going down. They've been basically destroyed. The enemy is now going to seize this position. Meanwhile, on the outside, we're going to continue to countercharge with our Yari cavalry. But the main gate here has also just seen tremendous amounts of destruction. We have almost nothing left here, so we're going to be falling back. This is why I called for the retreat between me and my ally, falling back to the 3rd level, where we're still getting some shots off onto the ranks down there. And the enemy has pushed up. They're starting to take the top keep. So we're going to try and trap some of the units here with some of my own Yari samurai. But they are doing a pretty good amount of damage to us as well, so a huge amount of kills here. Opponents are going to be rallying, and here they're going to crash like a wave against my spears. So my Mojo babies, again, proving their worth, holding this entire force back. And they're holding them and giving us time for the archers in the distance to just absolutely thrash anything thrown against these guys. They've also been able to secure passage for my heroes to pull back into the inner keep. So my heroes are now going to be safe, and they're going to be able to watch this as we pick off some of the enemy units.
Our men are running from the battlefield.
So the courtyard, I mean, look at that courtyard. Jeez. Oh my god. They did capture the tower, so the tower is going to be getting some free shots on my guys. They're holding strong, but they're basically able to beat back a wave, and you can see the big morale blow dealt to the opponents at this point. They're going to be trying to reform and shuffle their forces around, but with the loss of the generals, their morale is pretty precarious, but they still have huge numbers of troops. And so their archers are going to be repositioning over here, try and blow through the gate where we have minimal defenses. I'm going to pull back my Katana Samurai, but we don't really have that many troops left, and we're starting to run out of arrows. But we're still continuing to target bow warrior monks and key units like that. Now the opponents are going to come for round 2 against my forces, against the spear wall. Pretty foolhardy, but it's the only way up into the keep. And it seems to be actually working pretty decently. The fire shots from our side are doing some friendly fire damage. You can see they're starting to penetrate our ranks, so my shield wall all of a sudden has come apart. And now they're going to pour more men into this fight. But all those guys now being thrown into the fight, they're going to start to take a lot more damage from the supporting bows, so we just have way too many archers. Cavalry are also going to try and commit to this. But they too are going to get just chewed up. So I'm going to try and pull back my my guys to a more concentrated position. They were being exposed. They weren't deep enough to form up and do shield wall, or spear wall. So now I reformed, and now I'm going to go back into spear wall, try and countercharge these guys, and they're going to be, you can see the morale is going to start tanking. But meanwhile, this is kind of perhaps just a distraction against all of our forces. You can see all our archers are here. Meanwhile, they're going to be pushing forward up on the rampart here. They've burned down our gates, and now they're going to be trying to push forward, get some fire into our ranks. I'm going to now reposition some of these Katana Samurai, and we're going to try and push these guys back through the gate. They have stepped foot inside of the courtyard, so this is going to be pretty bad for us. Very bad, actually. If they can push through here. However, if they don't really have any melee infantry, so at least they don't have the pushing power to break through this gate, especially with my hero repositioning. And over here, we were able to finally break the opponents. My Mojo babies, again, standing strong, and I'm going to try and chase the opponents. There's a huge cluster of units here. However, that tower on the right is eventually going to break my guys just because I'm so low. But this is a huge number of men that we would ideally like to shatter instead of just, rout. So I think where am I going? I'm going over here to, I think, try and break the Yari Samurai. And then I'm going to try and recommit here. I can't remember what I was doing. I was trying to micro, I think, over here, just try and redeploy some guys. And I'm actually chasing the opponent down the causeway with some of my Katana Samurai. So we're going to be retaking the entrance to the fortress. However, what our opponents are doing is they were able to kind of draw me out in that engagement, and they pulled back some of their archers. And now they're going to be getting a lot of flanking fire up on my guys on the ridge as they're fighting one of those archer units. And it's going to start picking off some of my men. I am pretty heavily armored, so it's not going to do too much damage. But combined with all the fire of all these archers who are going to start reforming, it could be pretty devastating. So my guys are down by 17 men. I'm going to decide to charge down through here. All the cavalry that was on the outside of the city was basically killed by these archers, so this is revenge. I'm going to continue to chase after them, but we might as well just look over all the carnage. Some of the opponents are actually going to start reforming. You can see actually all their units came back, and my own spear unit was destroyed by that tower. I know actually they pulled back over here, so I tried to keep them from breaking, but now the opponents are going to be moving up this position. And I don't really have anything here. My hero has been pulled back to the top. And here I decide to focus in on one of the Yari Ashigaru. Or, yeah, the Bo Ashigaru. The bows are none too happy about that. See my guys charging out in the shadow of Helms Deep, countercharging the archers. And they're going to try and do their best to break my guys, but the heavy armor is going to be to my advantage. They're going to pull out of that fight. But it is doing a tremendous amount of damage to my morale. You can see my guys are actually starting to get shaken, tired. They are susceptible to breaking, especially with this many units out here. So he's going to pull back Lone Sword Ashigaru to try and tie my guys down. You know, the rest of this force is still up in the air. However, a big amount... Oh my god. This is almost like a line of refugees. These guys have given up on the battle. Kind of just want to see this entire line of units pushing their way back here. So this is all shattered units. So we did a good job. These guys have been effectively broken. These troops are, I guess, waiting to reform, and then they'll come back. Meanwhile, we're going to be countercharging down the rampart. What we want to do is isolate these guys. They were going to take the opportunity to attack my guys over here, who are cleaning up the archers pretty well. But what they did is they left a pretty big gaping hole in our wall in terms of defense. So now the opponents are going to be taking advantage of that. And they're not quite done yet. They're going to countercharge up to our guys. We have some of our own katana units in this mess. I know these are the samurai who have actually some sword with them. And we countercharging these guys pretty well. And then we decide to pull back some of my guys pretty soon. I've dealt, you know, all these guys are going to be broken and routing. What I figured I had to come back and break these guys before they were able to destroy our bow samurai and get into the keep. So we're sending more bow samurai to buy time for my own units to get back into the fight. I'm still kind of trailing these units, trying to make sure that they're going to be completely routed, and then we're going to pull back over here. Because at this point our opponents did actually break the last of my spearmen, and they're going to be trying to push up this this wall. But we have almost nothing left. I'm going to be moving my katana hero out through the front gate. So at least my hero units are still alive. You can watch some of these guys as they charge down the causeway. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. That's a cool shot. So you can hear the death on the left. Our guys are, you know, sort of holding out. But now here come my heroes. And this is going to effectively break the opponents. You can see them just chopping down units left and right, charging in through here. And then I have some of my own units coming through the back to try and sandwich these. However, because I stopped the chase on the archers are actually going to start reforming. So we are worried that they might actually be able to come back, clean up my guys who are now exposed. They've rallied that force, and they're going to be able to perhaps press the assault up here. However, the time remaining is only 30 seconds, so actually if they're going to do anything, they got to get back into this fight. We were worried that it wasn't quite over. But at least now we're concentrating on taking out the heavy sword units, making sure the opponents have no real killing power. And with that, it's going to be a couple more units broken, and that's going to cause the other units to start wavering. The time, meanwhile, is running out 6, 5, you know, that's all that's left. So a successful defense of the city. However, it wasn't without, you know, ample losses on both sides of the battle. I hope you guys enjoyed this. The fun of these custom battles is just awesome, and I can't wait until they have these types of custom battles make a comeback for Attila. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll go ahead and take a look at the stats, and yeah, we'll see how many kills we got. And here you can see the amount of kills we were able to just, yeah, mop the floor with our opponents, basically. Yeah, this entire force here was the one that charged headlong against us. Only got 287 kills. I mean, they were the fodder units, basically. The other forces got a bit more kills. I mean, my ally did pretty good amount of damage. My Mojo baby is 243, so again, coming in clutch. Hero getting 96 kills. Katana Samurai, 237, and I want to see some of the archer kills. 169, 211, 160. Actually, how did my cavalry do? 131 on Katana, 93, 87. So pretty good all around. These guys pretty much eating shit. Yeah, they brought a lot of units, but you saw the murderous amount of fire we were pouring into them. There's no way the opponents were going to really survive that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I look forward to more of these custom battles, either in Shogun or perhaps even in Attila. For the moment, there are a bunch of mods that I'd like to explore. You guys have recommended Napoleon III as a mod that I could check out. There's also one for this. If I download Fall of the Samurai, or if I buy that, then I can download one that does the Confederate Civil War. Maybe I'll try and do that. Anyways, look forward to it. Leave your comments below. I always read those, and hope you enjoy. Thanks so much.